Hello everyone, it's Pixel again, welcome back to my review of Something Sweet to Bite 2. We are now on the final chapter. Sorry about that. Chapter 14, Wake Up. Now, disclaimer, I own nothing. Everything belongs to the rightful owners, so please go and support them and be nice. And once again, this story is gory, so viewer discretion is advised, please. So yeah, now, before we begin, I'll say that I've really enjoyed this story, and I hope you all enjoyed this story as well, and so yeah. And so, yeah, but sadly, this is the final chapter. Without further ado, let's dive in. Now, quick little recap. It turns out that the last chapter was just partially a dream that Rainbow was having, and they didn't actually defeat the Candy Mare, so yeah. Now, so it starts with Rainbow waking up, and she feels someone twisting her injured wing. And the Candy Mare says that she was beginning to think that Rainbow Dash would sleep for the rest of Nightmare Night, and standing near Rainbow's ear is the Candy Mare wearing Princess Luna's skin. Rainbow Dash freaks out and sees that everything around her, that all the ponies around her are stuffed with candy. Actually, there's candy ponies all around her that are laughing and singing the Nightmare Night song as they're eating. And she sees that the passed out forms of Celestia's guards has jack-o'-lanterns burning brightly all around them, and more are popping into existence. As the guards on watch, the dead feeding are slowly being consumed by the candy curse and into for lack of a better term, a flesh power source for the Candy Mare. And Celestia appears to be in some kind of trance. And Rainbow is and she sees that some of the candy zombies are eating her, and she's not even moving at all. She's not even fazed by it. Sorry about that. And Zecora is also being eaten as well, and oh dear. So, and Fluttershy is passed out on the ground, and Rainbow is being held by the Candy Mare's licorice tendrils, and And Rainbow is confused. She says that, how is this even possible? We watched you burn. We killed you. And the Candy Mare laughs and says if that's what she was dreaming. And basically, she also answers how. When she explains when Fluttershy attacked her, she was surprised since she's never had any of her puppets turn on her. And how that was possible. Well, she never considered it to be a possibility that one of her puppets would turn on her. So she used an ability that comes naturally to Princess Luna's body, which is the Royal Canterlot voice. But Rainbow, well, in hindsight, the Candy Mare doesn't give that much of an explanation as to how she survived that. And Rainbow pretty much echoes that thought. She's like, she still doesn't understand. They all heard her scream and saw Fluttershy fall. But that was all that happened. Celestia woke up and blew her up with her magic. And the Candy Mare asks her if she really thinks that happened. And says it's fascinating how a pony's mind can take things that happen in real life and twist them into becoming part of a dream. And she explains that that Luna's voice had a little more impact than that. Since every last one of them passed out from either the sound or the pain, and how it was easy to wake up her little puppets, in quotes, and have them harvest life forces for her. And says that they're even creeping out of the Everfree Forest and into the rest of the world. And how Nightmare Night is going to be a bloodbath for this world. And once her ritual harvest, and once they, and how at least 5 more cities will be taken over before midnight, and her ritual harvest will be complete. And she'll be able to expand she'll have enough life force to expand into the nightmares of every creature that dreams. And Rainbow is completely breaks down crying, saying that this can't be how it ends and that they watched her burn. And the Candy Mare says that of course it isn't the end, and how much she's learned from Luna. Basically, she even says how matter can neither be created nor destroyed, but energy, on the other hand, can be consumed in all its forms, since she feeds on the life of every planet, She plans on feeding on the life of every planet, every star. Then, once this universe has gone dark and cold, all she has to do is move on and begin again. And tells Rainbow Dash that they've only just begun. And she even admits that as expanded as her knowledge has become from consuming Princess Luna's life force and the many lives of the ponies of Equestria, there are things that she doesn't understand still. Like, when she reminisces about, she tells Rainbow about when she was still a little filly and she was still, well, a normal pony. How it wasn't, in her time, it wasn't so much the high lords and ladies of the unicorns she was envious of. Although they were graceful, gorgeous, and fascinating, she didn't play pretend like she was a princess like other Earth ponies. Instead, she imagined what it was like to be a Pegasus. To fly and soar through the air. And now that Princess Luna has served her purpose, her wings won't be up to the task of carrying her anywhere. And Rainbow, realizing what this means, well, she kind of has, like, this idea about what this could mean for her. And she says that doesn't she have her own body and that she can just make candy wings herself and fly. And the Candy Mayoress explains that she hasn't had what others would call a real body in a long time. Even if she could, that side of I'm going to try to pronounce these. She's afraid of the medical side effects of this perplex her, since her puppets can barely stay afloat despite being... I am so sorry, excuse me. Despite being a Pegasus in their previous lives, she thinks a more intimate knowledge of how a living Pegasi's wings work in motion might prove more more illuminating, to say the least. And she also says that she always loved bright colors herself and thinks that rainbow will do just fine. And it says, like I said, Rainbow Dash, you and I, we've only just begun. And Rainbow asks what she means, and the Candy Mare then lowers her to the ground, and Rainbow at first thinks that she's letting her go as the Candy Mare makes her stand on her hind legs. But a tendril slides back into Luna's empty eye sockets. But the corpse then the flesh begins to peel back, and it starts blossoming like a very putrid flower, which ends up having her entrails and guts being spilled out, and even more candy. And let's see, and basically she kind of tears Princess Luna's corpse apart, and just, that is wrong. And one of the scary things is, and disturbing and rather heartbreaking, I might add, is that the husk that was Princess Luna's body begs for her to die. Like, she can't stand this anymore. And Rainbow realizes that this was the fate that had been planned for her all along. And that Zecora and the others had it wrong the whole time. The Candy Mare just doesn't want to kill. She wants to live too, and to do that, she needs a living body. And as the Candy Mare is... And this story ends with this. With every sign of a filly's appreciation for opening presents on Heartswarming Day, the little filly that Rainbow Dash recognized as the very core of the Candy Mare drew closer to her. The wet, filthy thing slid up Rainbow Dash's legs, and she couldn't shake it off, no matter how hard she squirmed and kicked. The horrid leech clung to Dash's body and slowly slithered up her belly to her chest. Dash struggled harder, but the black licorice tendrils that thrust up the earth held her still. She could feel her heart beating as the tiny, hoofless appendages of the thing reached her lips. Dash clenched her mouth shut so hard she was afraid she was going to shatter her own teeth. It didn't matter, though. A red tendril twisted her wing again, and her body betrayed her, opening her mouth wide in a scream that was equal parts pain, frustration, and despair. She felt the horrid thing slid past her teeth, over her tongue, and deep down into her throat, even as she was gagged. Amongst her revulsion, she couldn't help but notice that foul as the thing was, it tasted sweet. Hooey! So that was the final chapter of Something Sweet to Bite 2. So we finally see what other powers the Candy Mare has. Now that I always kind of read it that she took Princess Luna's powers, or she mixed it in with her own, and she ended up becoming, well, she now has a living body. Because, like, the Candy Mare isn't, well, when she's in that form, she's in her her real body, her true form, I should say. She's apparently not corporeal, so she needs a living body in order for her to be able to live. And we also get a bit more depth with the Candy Mare as she, especially when she talks about her childhood when she was still Pumpkin Patch. How she wasn't like one of those little girls who pretended that they were princesses. Instead, she dreamed about being a Pegasi pony. And this is actually, to me, it's actually rather a little interesting, because in the last story, when she's being taken to the sweet shop and before all of that happened, and even when she's facing down against Twilight, she explains how much she admired unicorns and how she wanted to be like them. And she also, and it also seemed, because it's revealed here, at least I think so, that she also in a way admired the Pegasi as well, because she dreamed that she could have been one while her friends pretended that they were princesses. So yeah, but yeah, like, I was actually rather surprised. Like, I was like, oh, wait, what? I'm like, so, and the fact that she used Luna's Royal Canterlot voice to kind of, either she made them unconscious or she casted a spell over them using Luna's magic in order to make them think that they won. And yeah, like I said, this ending is like, why? I was like, seriously, like, no one can get a break here. Like, everyone needs a hug. Like, seriously, like, the Candy Mare is just, like, one of those, she's, like, the part where it's revealed that this was all a dream, it kind of reminded me of the ending of A Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. Like, seriously, like, what will it take just to... And, yeah, I gotta admit, like, the Candy Mare the beginning of this really reminded me of that, of Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, like, just... seriously, like... And I'll say it again, the Candy Mare is just it's just like the thing that just won't die. Just... seriously though, like, how do you put her down? Well, you know the old saying, can't keep a good woman down. But yeah, like, just... And also the part where she's still wearing, like, Princess Luna's skin. I was definitely reminded of Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like... Because even when Rainbow wakes up, it's just... she's still wearing it. Because, you know, I won't lie, like, I was actually kind of at first I was confused. Like, how did the Candy Mare do that? But, and, okay, I won't lie, I'm still a little confused, but but I could put together that it was part of her using either some kind of magic from Luna or using her Royal Canterlot voice that did them in. Sorry about that. But yeah, like, and I have to say, like, this one would have to be one of, I mean, I like all of the Something Sweet to Bite stories in the trilogy, but I gotta admit, like, this one would have to be one of my favorites. And yeah, like, because the Something Sweet to Bite series is one of my favorites, and like I said at one point, it actually inspired me to make a, like, well, it was mostly the Candy Mare that inspired me, like her backstory and everything. And yeah, and I do plan on doing the sequel to Something Sweet to Bite 2 as well, but I also plan on doing another review of a fanfic since it's going to be getting really, really chilly outside. So yeah. But yeah, I do plan on doing a video on the Magician, and I'll explain who that is when the video comes out. But yeah, just wow, this story was cool and creepy. And yeah, so that's it for now, and I do hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all for watching, and it's been fun, and it's been fun reviewing this, and I hope you all enjoyed, and once again, thank you all for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!